3, 2, 1. Look, you nailed it. First try.
You see?
I'm so proud of you. You're a natural.
I know.
Welcome back to Lady on the Street podcast. It's been a minute, you guys, but we're back. And today I am just so happy to have this person here. You guys know that I love a good laugh, and today's guest knows how to make a girl laugh. In fact, she's taking her online persona into a full-fledged comedy show, a touring comedy show, you guys, okay? So we're talking Houston, we're talking Arlington, we're talking McAllen, SA, Chicago, and good old Corpus Christi, y'all. She's known as Chona E to the masses and Joanna Estrada to her closest family and friends. She's here on Lots Pod today, so let's talk about it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I mean, this is amazing. I love the whole aesthetic. It's like I'm in Pinterest right now. It's awesome.
That's the goals. Hashtag Pinterest goals. Right?
Yes, girl. Hashtag I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm scrolling right now and I see all the things.
I love it. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. I know that it's a busy Saturday, so we're gonna get
we got a little stack lineup today, but hey, we can make it to all the places. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just start off first of all. The question that I always ask, and we were just talking about it. Your drink of choice. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay. So we were just talking about this because I was telling you that I was a beer drinker. Mm-hmm. So I used to do Bud Light, was a real heavy Bud Light girl. And then Michelob came out and started getting, I mean, it had been out, but then it started getting real popular. Mm-hmm. So we were doing the Michelob, but then I got on my weight loss journey and I started to feel the effects of looking swollen and bloated all the time with the beer. So, then I was introduced to Tito's, vodka, and Diet Coke, and that's my drink of choice.
I love that.
Thank you so much. And she put two little cherries in it. Cheers, manita. She's drinking it for the first time. She's like, "Ooh, this is good."
It is good. I think it could be one of those dangerous ones, though, where it like creeps up on me if I have
sneaker upper. So yeah, that's what I was going to tell you is that, so with beer, I could probably down like an 18-pack.
Woo!
Yeah, girl. I know. Que bonita.
Yes.
I could probably do one of those. With these, I do doubles. Mm-hmm. So at my shows, I'll have like 3 before I perform, and I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is going to get me through the whole set. If I have another, I'm probably wasted by that time. So I'm like, hey, I went from 18 drinks to 4. I'm winning.
Yes, you know? Exactly. I love that. No, I'll get there someday. I'm still a beer girl, but I totally get what you're saying. Like afterwards, I'm like so bloated, and I like the salt or tahini, and it makes it worse.
No, mija. And I'm 40 now. I have no room to be hinchada with salt and the chamoy. I'll be up with GERD all night.
Yeah.
So the things are happening. I can't. So I'm just, this one's safe. This one's safe for me.
Well, I threw 2 little cherries. I cheated though. She's got Coke Zero. I got some cherry Coke in mine.
Oh, I bet that tastes real good. I'll have to try it. I know they do have cherry zero.
Yes. I don't know why I didn't. Fail.
That's all right.
It's okay though. Okay, so I want to just do a couple icebreakers just so we can get to know you a little bit.
Let's do.
All right, so tell me about the name Chona. Who came up with it? What does it mean?
So, okay, so it was my nickname growing up by my father. He actually still calls me Chona till this day. But it came from a woman in Mexico that he said I reminded him of her. He said that she was really just full of life, really funny, and would always make people laugh everywhere she was. And she was Chona Maro La Vinatera. So she had a paleta cart, but in her paleta cart, she had alcoholic beverages. Ooh. So she would go around to the areas where grown men were working on Fridays, and that's where she would go and ring her little bells and crack jokes and sell her alcohol to the men. So I was like, that's lovely, Dad.
I wonder if she had Tito's and Diet Coke in there.
I wonder.
Full circle moment, right?
Full circle moment. What if I am her? So that's where Chona came from. And so Dad's called me Chona ever since.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love what a unique story though. I mean, sometimes I feel like families just make up like, at least yours has an origin. At least
I'm not like gorda.
I mean,
there's so many people that have that name gorda, and I'm like, I know.
Yeah,
let's not.
No, please don't. And it's like Mexican families will find the one thing that they can pick at, and that's your nickname, right? I'm like,
Narizona, ven pa acá. You're like,
yes,
thank you. Yeah. I get it.
Yes, no, for sure. Okay, tell me, what's your favorite place? Where is your favorite place to eat in San Antonio?
Oh, okay. I'm a basic bitch. Can I cuss on your
Yes.
cuss? Okay.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm a basic bitch. So this is real stupid. We're constantly at Las Palapas.
Oh my God, I love Las Palapas.
Like, I feel like it was hidden for so long, but it wasn't, because it's existed for many, many years here, because I was a Mama Margie's girl before that.
Are you me? What is happening?
Did we just
here?
become best friends?
Yeah.
What is going on? The skinnier version of me, you guys. I love her. So yeah, I am so down with the Las Palapas. We're there so much that they know us already. And when we go alone, me and my husband, the meseras are like, ¿Y dónde están las niñas? Like, it's so funny. But yeah, and my go-to there is a tortilla soup, dude. I love a good tortilla soup. I didn't actually start falling in love with Las Palapas until I was pregnant with my 5-year-old.
Really?
I just, for whatever reason, we went for lunch during work, and I had the tortilla soup that day. I was hooked from then on.
Their tortilla soup is good. The chicken's like pure white meat.
But hello. Yeah, let's talk about it. It's amazing. And then the second newest favorite place I like to go eat at is Taco Palenque.
I've never been there.
You got to check it out. Yeah. Honestly, it's true. In my opinion, don't come for me, but in my opinion, I think it's true, authentic Mexican food. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard the people from the valley go hard for Taco Palenque.
It's very valley oriented, but they have a good pirata. You know what a pirata is? It's like a burrito. Y tiene frijoles, y tiene it's got cheese, it's got fajitas, girl, it's just good, and it's wrapped, and they'll ask you if you want it in corn or flour, but I usually like to get it in flour because, for the diet.
Yes.
So, hello. But yeah, but for sure, I rock with Las Palapas.
The F in flour is for the diet.
It's fancy, and I don't know any other F words.
It's very demure.
It's giving cutesy, very demure. My niece last night,
mindful.
Very mindful. She kept telling me last night, it's very, Antonella, you're giving very mindful right now. You're giving very demure, very cutesy. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. Because we jumped on the Shoddy Bay bandwagon for a real long time.
Love her too.
We were like in this point of view. We were doing that. And then this girl or whatever else. I probably say it wrong, but you know what I mean.
This girl.
Yes. This girl. Oh, and this is my niece. No, not that one. Not that one, honey.
My nieces and my sister literally like talk Shoddy Bay language to each other.
It's cute. Yeah. It's cute. And right now we're in it's very mindful, very demure era. This aesthetic is very mindful, very demure. Hey, she had me a blanket. Very mindful, very demure, very cutesy. It's giving cozy. Let's go to sleep.
You're hilarious. I love it. Well, I'm not going to hate on your Las Palapas because you're making me hungry and I'm going to go there next.
Bro, yeah, check it out. I had the chips and sauce. I mean, don't sleep on that either.
No, for sure.
It's best.
I could go on forever, but okay. So what's the best thing about being a comedian?
The best thing about being a comedian. The best thing about being a comedian is I can talk shit about my husband and nobody thinks it's bad.
It's a free pass.
It's a free pass to talk shit about him. Because a lot of when I first started building my comedy set, a lot of my comedy was surrounded by our personal experiences, And dude, I even had one that was really bad, where I turned a embarrassing fight that we had one time where we got a real rasa about it. I turned it into a whole bit.
Yeah.
And man, that one was, and it's still one of the audience favorites because I'm performing in front of a whole bunch of Latinos. And so whenever after the show we're doing the meet and greets, they're like, that one part about you and your husband, and it got a little physical. It just hits home. And I'm like, why are we like this? Anyway, so that's probably the best thing. And I'm able to take my life experiences and talk about them on stage, but also over exaggerate them for the laughs, you know? So it's cool.
I love that. That's a good answer though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me then, last rapid fire, what is the worst thing about social media?
The drama.
Yeah.
The drama, and that you're ultimately inviting people to form opinions that maybe are not the most amazing, it's just kind of comes with the nature of the beast. People are going to be negative and you kind of have to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
It comes with it, right?
It does.
All right. So thank you for sharing all of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's get further into it. So tell me a little bit, what were you doing before you really hit social media as hard as you are now?
Yeah, that's a great question. Mom, I was mom living it up. Honestly, I was, and to get a little bit deeper, I like to open myself up. I love to be transparent because a lot of people, they see just the funny part. But
Yeah.
right before I hit it on social media, I was just trying to get my life back together. In my 20s, I wasn't very responsible financially, and I think a lot of us can kind of relate to that. And I didn't go to real college. I went to acting school, so I was working as a manager at a restaurant at the time, and we ended up having to foreclose on our home because we just were way in over our heads with everything. So I bought a home to like prove to my dad that I'm like a responsible adult, and I'm married, and I'm having a baby. And look, Dad, I bought my first home. And with buying the first home, I bought a new car. I bought everything on credit to fill the house, not thinking and realizing there's also taxes you have to pay. There's also homeowners insurance, all this stuff. I'm very green, right? And I'm learning. My husband and I learned all this. So we ended up buying a lemon, and it ended up being a terrible house. Long story short, bringing it back to the question is that I was rebuilding my life from that foreclosure. Our credit was terrible. We moved back home to San Antonio, and just starting from ground zero. And it wasn't until 2018 that video went viral, that my brother, who's always encouraged me to continue my comedy, was like, don't stop. This is it. Keep going. And so we've been doing it ever since.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So now in my 40s, after 10 years of being home, I was just sharing this on a live the other day. I'm like, it's amazing. And I've always wanted this, and it's taken me into my late 30s, and now I'm 40, but I'm happy where we are financially. We're not rich in any means, but it's nice to be able to say, hey, I saved money this week. You know what I mean? Like that's amazing for us. So that's what we were doing before, man. We were just trying to rebuild our lives.
Yeah. And figuring it out. I think it's like, there's something to be said about once you hit a certain age and you go off on your own and you think you know everything, right?
Yes, dude.
But
absolutely.
literally you're figuring life out. And you keep mentioning like now you're 40 and that's okay. Like it's fine that you're finding success and you're doing what you've raised your kids.
Yes.
Yeah. So like that makes me so happy for you.
Thank you. And a lot of people that I've met are like, Miha, you know that my life started at 40.
Right.
And I'm like, really? Like I just felt like in that transition that I was going through, I guess I was comparing myself to my friends.
Yeah.
And my friends were way better off than where I was. And I'm over here, they're going on vacations or doing all this stuff. And I usually had to stay behind because we didn't have money for that. Like, and so I just was always comparing it to that I'm like, I'm a loser, dude.
No. Yeah.
But now in coming into this new environment and meeting so many people just like you, that they're like, no, dude, my life started at 40. Like I relate to what you've been through. And I'm like, you know what? I need to talk about this more because a lot of people are going to go through this. And I tell my daughter, I don't regret anything that I've done. But I'm glad I went through it because now I can tell you where to watch out for the landmines.
Yes.
In her journey of life. So
no, for sure. I think that your learning experiences are obviously going to transcend into how you're raising her and helping her. So
yeah.
It's like you got to go through it so you can let them know what to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. We rolled with the punches. I'm glad we got our ass kicked from time to time, but yeah, you're right. Then we'll help them out.
Yeah, no. Oh, that's good. Well, again, I'm so glad that things are kicking off for you, and they have been for the last couple of years, but it's not easy, I'm sure. It's with hard work, tons of hard work.
It's a juggle, my friend. It really is. And I don't know if you know this, but I still work full time.
Do you?
Yeah.
I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, I still work full time. A lot of people think that I'm doing the comedy full time. But I'm a very active full-time mom.
Yeah.
I'm very active. I'm very active in my marriage with my husband.
Yeah.
And so my family is always first and foremost. And of course I have my Chona, and then I work full time. It's a lot, man, but we're working it out.
Oh, you're so inspiring. I think that I don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing it. So
yeah, we're working it out. It's really, at the end of the day, I think it's because I've ultimately succumbed to that. I am proud of my faith in God. And he knows I'm a sinner, man. I cuss, I drink, and I do all those things. But I know that it's because I've gotten closer to him in my own personal way. And I think that that's why I'm able to manage everything all, because it's it's like, man, I know you're helping me, man. I know you're here. And it's beautiful.
You got me in my feels right now.
You're so sweet. There's a lot more that comes with Chona than just funny, you know?
I mean, I'm sure it's like definitely there's so many different layers to
Yeah.
you, but thank you for sharing all of that.
Of course.
I can't even imagine like balancing motherhood, being a wife, being a friend, being an entertainer, being, a businesswoman. Like, girl.
It's a lot. And honestly, I think that I'm probably a shittier friend now. I'm not as close to my friends as I used to be.
Yeah.
Because I'm so busy. And I think everybody understands and respects that. I honestly don't have time to give to friendships like I used to. It's really, really sad because that used to be what my life consisted of.
Yeah.
I was always giving to everybody else.
Yes.
And now that I'm in my season, I'm in my, all this is for my family, right? And my own personal, selfish excitement that I get from doing comedy. But yeah, friends are not on the list. I have them.
Yeah.
But I love that they're very supportive and they get it. They're not like, oh, I know you can't come to this birthday party. I know you can't. Everybody's really happy in my season, supportive. So it's cool.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah,
That's good.
I'm happy for that too.
It sounds like you got a really good group of people surrounding you. So getting on that same mindset, right? Are your family members funny?
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
We really do cut up, and we used to do a lot of YouTube videos together. You remember when the Harlem Shake was like a thing?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, we did it Loteria style. So we were all different characters of Loteria. My niece actually did the card El Negrito.
Okay.
But we painted her. Yeah. So we had to take it down because at that point she was starting to teach, and the view on that had completely changed than what it was during that time. So nobody will ever get to see that Harlem Shake video because now in hindsight, we do understand that was very inappropriate. Yeah. But other than that, like we can all throw a skit together and we act and laugh and we have a really good time.
Which character were you?
Who was I, Chloe, in the Harlem? I was El Diablo. I wore a whole unitard and everything.
I love it.
And I was a bigger girl at that time, so it was interesting.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's cute.
That's a good costume. Like, I need to have a Halloween where everybody's just Loteria people.
They have Loteria quinceañeras.
Really?
Yes. I saw this girl with the whole dress and everything. I was like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Dude, people love themes. We're a theme family. We love a good theme. Every Christmas, there's a theme.
Yeah.
We just love a good theme.
I love it.
Yeah. We love to participate. The brothers, the men, everybody loves the themes.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I got to come see that.
Yeah, you do.
I'm like, bye, guys. I'm going to Chona's.
Going to Chona's family for Christmas.
No, okay. Do your kids think you're funny? Ooh, moment of truth.
My daughter's behind the camera. She's nodding her head. Yes. Chloe does, because she's 14, her social media is their life, and her friends are coming across my stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like, Chloe, is that your mom? She's like, that's my mom. She's a comedian, and so in middle school, I don't think she appreciated it so much until now that she's kind of maturing a little bit more. And she's like, Mom, at first I didn't really, I was like, didn't want to talk about it because I was a little embarrassed, but now it's like really cool, Mom, because everybody's so supportive. I'm like, I love it. I think everybody had to grow with you. Now people are maturing, they get it. Yeah. The 5-year-old, she doesn't think I'm funny.
They're savage when they're little.
Why is she so mean? The other day we're walking out and she goes, you need to turn around, put a little bit of makeup on. I was like, no, Quinn, just for you, I'm going to go like this. She goes, ugh.
Right now, I walked out of my room and my daughter, she's going to be 4, and she was, Mommy, you smell precious. And I'm like, I do. And she's like, no, why did you do that? I'm like, that's like, what?
She didn't like your choice of perfume.
Yeah, she's like, but I thought precious was good. I was like, oh my God, thank you. She complimented me. And I was like, I do. She was like, no, why'd you spray that stuff on yourself?
They're mean.
I know.
She's really, really mean. We were watching somebody's comedy yesterday. I don't even want to say the name because I don't want to offend the people. But Chloe and I are laughing. We're like giggling at it. And we're done watching it. And Quinn's like, that was not funny at all. I'm like, girl, go do something positive with yourself. Jesus.
I'll share one more bit of my little girl. She was being watched by my in-laws. And she walked in and they made pulled pork sliders, right?
Oh, boy.
And she eats them when I make them, but apparently she walked in and was like, it smells weird in here, right? Like the honesty. And she was like, "What are you making?" to my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law's like, "Pulled pork." And she's like, "Well, I don't like that." And my sister-in-law says, "Well, then don't eat it." And my daughter goes, "Don't be rude." I'm like, "You were just being
I'm like,
rude."
she's giving you the energy, Mia.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yes,
Yeah,
girl.
she's 3. Don't be rude.
Man, I feel for you. I go through the abuse too, Mia.
Yeah.
We're abused moms
We sure
by
are.
these toddlers. Jesus.
Okay. So who are you inspired by for, I guess, not just in life, but specifically for your comedy?
I can easily sit here and name someone famous that's doing it already, and that's, they're paving the way for us. I think for me, the women that inspire me are the ones that are walking this journey right beside me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I will name them because I'm very, very proud of these ladies, and they're very, very close to me. But they're doing amazing things in the Latina community for comedy. Irma Ruiz is a local comedian from San Antonio, but she has built an empire for herself, and she is the producer and owner of Teachers Gone Bad. It's a comedy show that travels nationwide. She's also the producer and owner of Chingona's comedy show, which is produced nationwide. And she's traveling all over these states, all over the United States, and providing opportunities for women, more women to get on stage, and even men in the Teachers Gone Bad. It's just amazing what she's doing. So she's an inspiration to me. Michelle Kandu is one of my really, really good friends. She's also a comedian from San Antonio, and she's just has that corporate wit because she's actually works in HR as a professional, job. So she inspires me in that like clean comedy sort of way because I'm not. I'm totally not. And she's also a chingona mom all around too. So those are the women that really inspire me right now.
Yeah.
And of course, the ones I look up to are the ones that are already doing it, Angela
Mm-hmm.
Johnson and so on and so forth. There's so many. I think for me right now, Cristela Alonso is one that kind of gives me that little twinkle in my eye. I really like them, but I can tell you something. I'm not like them.
Yeah.
You look at their comedy compared to what I do, it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm more of a Richard Pryor
Mm-hmm.
than I am a Cristela Alonso.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very in your face. It's very, rigid and rough, and a lot of cuss words.
Yeah, well, and I do think though that there's something to be said about that type of comedy. Like
Yeah.
it's so relatable,
Yeah.
And I think that's why people get it. Like
Totally. Well, and I'm at a crossroads right now because I'm doing the viejita character a lot more.
Mhm.
She's blowing up. So that's what I'm bringing to the shows. I've noticed
Yeah.
that the age limit has gone
Yeah.
higher. So I'm seeing a lot of 70-year-olds coming to the show, and it worries me because I'm like, "Ee." I'm talking about like,
Yes,
stuff,
yeah.
stuff.
They've been through it though.
Right, true. And honestly, they enjoy it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I love that they still have their little adult humor in mind. And because some of them, like my mom will be like, no me gusta que dices esa palabra, no me gusta. I'm like, whatever, mom.
Yeah.
So
I know.
anyway, it's interesting.
I love that. And I do think that there's also I feel like we're at a time where maybe things are shifting a little bit where you can have your corporate and you
Yeah.
can have your side hustle,
Yes. Yes.
I think that just even a couple years ago, it was not as accepted, I guess.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's where more businesses are shifting. But that's the world we live in, is like you got to let people explore their creative outlets. And if not, that's going to be troublesome for.
She's preaching. She's preaching. No, totally. I was working for a company for 8 years when I first moved back home to San Antonio. I had no intention of going back to the workforce. I was in restaurant management for so many years, and that's just a stupid amount of hours. And so I wanted to take a break from working and just kind of let my husband lead the way. And for whatever reason, I did have to go back to the workforce. And so I gave 8 years of my life to this company. And once I started to become Chona is when it became a problem.
Yeah.
And so, I was given an ultimatum, and I left, dude.
Yeah.
I left, and I'm like, you're willing to get rid of an employee that's like super loyal, but I'm just asking for PTO, but that's not okay for you guys. Okay, cool. Well, then you don't deserve to have me on your payroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, hopefully, I know you said you're working still full time. So hopefully this new gig that you're at is good.
I literally, my boss is on my prayer list every night. She's a godsend. She's amazing. She understands. And I wasn't going to discuss the comedy part because I was so like scared from my previous job. Like I shouldn't tell anybody what I do. well, that's not feasible anymore because I happened to pop up on her For You page and she's like,
Yeah.
that's my new employee.
Yeah.
Anywho, so she's great. She understands how busy it is right now, back to school with mom stuff. And she just gets it, man. And the company that I work for, they get it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Good. I'm glad that that's working out for you. Cause
Yeah.
again, it doesn't happen that way for a lot of people,
No.
but oh, you're blessed.
I am blessed. I'll take it.
I love that. Okay. Take me back then. Do you remember what the first bit was that you did?
I do remember what the first bit was that I did. I was talking about growing up gordita and it was just, I was given 5 minutes on stage and I think this took 3 minutes. And all I talked about was how growing up gordita, there was no options for clothing, especially for back to school, middle school shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I had to shop at Dress Barn or Lane Bryant. So I was showing up to school looking like the deacon's wife as opposed to looking like a sixth grader because there was no options for clothing. And then I ended up talking about this like amazing jean skirt my dad had bought me from Dress Barn because Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears had come to the VMAs, puro denim. Do you remember?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to show up to the dance,
What is
puro
it?
denim.
Like Canadian tuxedo?
Yeah, exactly. And so anyway, that was my first bit, just talking about my experiences of shopping plus size as a middle schooler.
Yeah.
And then it just grew from there. And I think I started with 2 minutes of comedy. I was singing a lot of my parodies at first as a crutch to kind of throw in some extra time. But I think that's why people were coming to see me at the shows because they had known me for the parodies at first.
Yeah. And
to now, I can probably do about an hour of solid just comedy without any music or anything like that. It's fun. It's fun. It's taken me 3 years to build that material, but it's fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing though.
It's cool.
I will say too, going back to that first bit, things have changed because when I go shopping for my daughter, like it's so much better. There are options for kids.
Thank you.
Yeah, now, but it's like
now.
back then, you're right, Dress Barn.
I was dressing with all the senoras.
Yeah.
I was fucking 10, dude, and I'm over there.
Why'd they do that to you? They did you dirty.
I was wearing senora suits, dude. It's like, wow.
You were sophisticated. You were demure.
I was very demure at 10, in 6th grade.
Very mindful.
With period stains. Oh. You know what happened?
Yes, no.
You know what?
Sure.
I hated those days.
Can you check?
Can you check? I felt, a little blob come out.
Well, and then while we're on it, I mean, when I was 10 and I was a late bloomer. I think I was like 13 when I had my period, but
you're so lucky.
Yeah, I was older.
Yeah.
Back then I didn't feel lucky. I was like, why haven't
what's wrong with me? Yeah.
But I remember like we didn't use tampons when I was little. So like those pads, girl, and I'd be like, did I stain myself?
Can you see my pad in the back? Does it look like a, hot dog sticking out? And they were big and thick back then. Yeah. And then with the wings, they wouldn't, like, you would have to tear it to take the wings off. Now you're like, hijo, no se hace stick. Yeah. And then now all of a sudden pads are like shameful to people now. Yeah. They're like, ew, that's gross.
That's so gross.
I'm like, my daughter just started her period. I'm not telling her to put a tampon on. The heck?
Well, and then there's also like the whole tampons are bad for you. Use a diva cup. And I'm like, we're damned if we do. We're damned if we don't.
Oh, no. Now they have period calzones. Yeah. I'm like, so you're just going to be out chorreada all day with your chones.
Listen, though, I have wondered what they're like.
Did you buy some?
No, but I just want to experiment.
I'm not going to lie to you. I bought some. They're on the way.
Okay.
From Amazon.
To be continued.
Let
me know.
I will. Not because I don't want to wear anything.
Yeah.
But I noticed that like I have the IUD.
Yeah.
And so I'm already at year 5.
Yeah.
Well, IUDs last for 8 years now, so they didn't take it out.
Yeah.
But I noticed that now that it's the 5th year, now my periods are getting heavier.
Yes.
So I'm starting to have those thoughts in 6th grade. I'm like, can you check me?
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling like that. And obviously I could use a tampon, but I'm lazy, quiero. And it's been a long time since I've had to use them because these 5 years, like I literally would have a little dot and that was it. I loved the IUD. Anywho, so now I feel like it's starting to get regular again. And so I thought I'd buy them just in case, just to see. I'm still going to wear my little panty liner, but if I happen to stain myself, will I really be stained?
Also, the girl talk, like the importance of a panty liner.
It is so important. I started using a panty liner at 35 years old.
I love that.
It's giving very senora. That's when I started using one because I just felt secure.
Yes.
Because that's when I noticed that I couldn't sneeze like a normal person anymore.
Yes.
I was like, why do I always pee myself when I sneeze? So that was it. And then I started working out a little bit more around that time. And I was like, okay, I can't even do a jumping jack for crying out loud. We're going to start buying these.
You want me to jump rope? Like what?
How many? For 30 seconds? Oh no. Let's get it depends. Me quedo tomiada. Yes, girl. So all those things, girl, we talk about in the comedy shows, man.
I love this.
We talk about it. Yeah. But yes, a panty liner is very important. It's important.
Well, so I would wear panty liners when I was in high school, and my friends would be like, why
are you doing that?
Why are you doing that? And I'd be like, they just make me feel more clean. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're walking around.
Your panties are going to be all nasty and mine are going to be clean, girl.
Yours are going to be all mialos because you don't wipe right. And not mine. Yeah, I really wish I would have discovered panty liners early on. I tell my daughter, you can borrow some of mine. She's like, I'm good. We're not doing this, Mom. Like, let's not have this conversation. I'm like, but when your period's coming, so that way you're prepared. And she's like, no, my guy, like I got it covered. I'm like, okay, fine.
Oh my God, I don't even know how we got to period talk, but I'm here for it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This is what we do.
Yes. Oh, it was the first bit. It was Lane Bryant to period.
It was Lane Bryant to Senora costumes with period stains.
Okay. So I guess my next question was, do you have a writer? But I'm sure you're
I am the eyes, ears, and writing of this establishment, my friend. However, I will give credit where credit's due. I just had to write my first 5-minute clean set for the Southwest ISD convocation that I just performed at on Wednesday.
Yes, look at that segue. That was where I was going next.
I love you for that.
Yeah.
And I had Michelle Kandu come over and help me get my thoughts together, because the only thing that I had in mind were all inappropriate high school jokes. And it's like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So she kind of helped me reel in the ideas. What did she call me? With her HR shit that she always talks, she's like, you're a try-learner. Because I was like, I'm one of those people, like, we need to sit here, we need to talk about it, and then give me like one line, and then I just go from there and I'm good. So that's kind of how she helped me get the 5 minutes together and reel it in, because every now and again I'd be like, I'd say the joke and then I'd finish it off with a la verga. She's like, yeah, you can't do that. And I was like, I know, it's so hard. So yeah, she helped me kind of reel it in.
That's hilarious. How did that go for you though? Did you have a good time? I mean, I feel like that's got to be something that's so special.
It was very special. It was a full circle moment. My dad had never seen me perform. So that was his first time seeing it. That was appropriate for him. My dad's very conservative. So that was a very appropriate forum for him to come and watch me do my comedy. I haven't been that nervous in years. I was shaking from head to toe because with comedy, you at least have a few times to perform it in front of a live audience. That was my first time performing that set in front of anybody. So they could have been quiet the entire time. I didn't know how it was going to come across. And luckily it went really, really well. People were nice and it was great. It was a good time.
I can't imagine anybody ever just being quiet to something, in whatever it is that you're giving. Like,
yeah, it was good. It was really, really good. Yeah, we came up with some nice material. It was fun. Yeah.
So since it was, I guess, like curated specifically for that, are you going to incorporate some of the stuff that you worked hard on for that into anything else?
What it did, probably not, but what it did open my eyes to is that I could probably start working on cleaner material.
Yeah.
I think that I can definitely start doing that. I do love everything that I've built, and it's my blood, sweat, and tears over the last 3 years and the hour that I have now. But I can see a segue into starting to write material that's cleaner for these corporate gigs and things like that. Because once one door opens for you, more people will start to reach out and they're going to ask, do you have clean material? And I can't say no.
Yeah.
So I think that's, if there's anything that did, was that.
Yeah.
It opened my eyes to say, okay, Chona, you can do some clean stuff. You're capable.
Oh my goodness. Well, good. I'm glad. And I'm glad that it went well. And I was watching you post, you had just this look of excitement and joy. And no, that's good.
Pride, lots of pride.
Okay. I was watching your social the other day and I saw something that was just so relatable.
A ver.
The back to school pictures.
Where I was pretending to be the little girl.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I felt that in my heart, but not for me. I'm the mom. My daughter's the one.
Yeah, that we're forcing them to do all the things, and they're tired, and they're this, and they're that, and I'm just like, Yeah.
No, and I do think like so now that she's older, I've been very mindful of
Your
like
14-year-old, you're saying?
yeah, of
Yeah.
posting her or like what she wants me to share, because when she was little I would just share whatever I wanted.
Same, same.
It
Like, we
changes,
don't need
right?
your permission.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it does. It totally has changed. Like, she's got to
Hmm.
approve the pictures I post now, and
Yeah,
she doesn't really like to be on camera
yeah.
anymore like she
Hmm.
used to. The 5-year-old also doesn't really give me permission to do stuff either.
Yeah.
She was easy, man.
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, I'd be like, pose me, hon, do your little pose, and she would do it.
Yes,
So
same.
really, that video was inspired by the 5-year-old
Yeah.
because ella me da lata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Harper's and she'll tell me like, "Stop recording me," and I'm like, "Okay, this isn't cute anymore." She's like yelling at me on it. She like
Yes.
checks me though, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll stop."
I'll stop. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we need your consent.
yeah,
Lovely. Yeah.
yeah. No, for
I
sure.
can relate totally.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, okay. So tell me about Doña Chona. Who
I
exactly is she? I guess are you pulling from someone? Is she completely made up? Who is she?
Yeah, she is a combination of my mother and my mother-in-law.
Mm.
So the bebés,
Mhm.
when she says andan los bebés, that's my mother-in-law. That's how she talks. That's how she would call us. Like when we lived in Dallas, y onta la bebé. She would be asking for my 14-year-old. She was a baby. So that's how y los bebés. Qué bueno. And my mom, so like whenever so if you notice, there's a lot of little things that I do similar every single time in the video. And when she hangs up, she always talks shit.
Yeah.
She's always talking shit about somebody, or she's always like, esta cabrona que whatever. My mother-in-law's very much that way.
Yeah.
And she'll say things like, no se hace pendejo el cabrón, no me quiere pagar, or stuff like that. Like that's how she talks.
Yeah.
And my mom is the chismosa,
Okay, yeah.
where she's like, oh yes, money. Did you hear? That's my mom. So it's just the perfect orange together. Those two ladies is Doña Chona.
Do they recognize themselves in your character?
No, and I've said it many times.
They're
like
not
I'm saying, this is because, but actually I've never told them to their face.
Right.
I say it in podcasts and stuff that it's a combination of both them, but they never both have been like, cabrona, you're making fun of me. No, they both haven't, but they love to watch her.
Yes.
They love to watch her. And my mom's like, oh, my friends share it with me, and everybody shares it. It's really beautiful what it's become, because it was something I actually started doing Doña Chona just to promote my comedy shows, because I started noticing that when I was posting about my upcoming comedy shows, and I was just posting a flyer or just saying, hey guys, come to my comedy shows, the views were very low. Mm-hmm. So people don't want to be sold at.
Yeah.
They want to be entertained, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, how can I find a creative way to do this? So that's when the character was born, and I was doing little chismes over the phone talking about, did you hear La Chona E is going to do another show? Where do you think the bebés are going to stay? And her husband lets her go out like that all by herself. So that's what I was doing to sell the show. And then at the bottom, I click the link, I was.
Oh, you're so smart.
Yes. And so the views were going up and going up and going up, and tickets were selling, So I was like, okay, this is great. This is genius. And I even had promoters that are like, freaking genius, man. What a great way to sell your product. Like, this is interesting. I watched the whole thing. I'm like, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we just started doing more skits outside of like the selling comedy tickets. And then she just blew up. And now every video I do is in the thousands of views, and people, it's become bigger, I feel like, because so many of the comments now are like, I laugh and I cry because I miss my mom. She's in heaven.
Right.
Things like that. So I'm like, this is beautiful.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's one of those things where the chismosa, the one that's always like gossiping, or like, what about her husband? What does he think of it?
Yes.
Those are so endearing, because we all know that person.
We do. We do.
And so it reminds people of like that special person in their life, even though it's annoying sometimes, like in the moment.
We've all fell victim to that person. Absolutely.
But we love them for it, right?
Totally. Like I remember I put on this skit just recently where I was ultimately body shaming my daughter. I was saying how I didn't like her pants and she shouldn't be wearing those clothes, and no te miras bien, why do you think you look good and everything, and stuff like that. And I FaceTime my niece and I said, can I share you this skit that I'm contemplating whether or not I should post? She's like, let me see. And she goes, Auntie Nana, there's nothing wrong with that. That's real. Like, we have been through that. Like, honestly, she's like, what are you afraid of? I said, just, I'm afraid of people taking it out of context and being like, oh, this lady body shames and we're in a different era and we shouldn't be doing this, da, da, da. And so my niece is like, nah, man, I don't think so. I think that we've all fell victim to somebody like this in our family. You know, it's very relatable. So I was like, okay. So I posted it and I was like, I hope people don't get mad. Oh my God, the complete opposite. Everybody's like, it was so funny. I've totally been through this before. And so it worked out because I do not condone body shaming, but man, it still happens in Mexican families. I'm sorry.
It still does. And I have to be like constantly reminding. And the thing is, and I'm going to say this because every time I'm having these conversations, I share about my family, and sometimes I don't want them to think I'm like throwing them under the bus, right?
Right.
But with that, like I have to remind my mom or my whoever it is in my family, like just don't ask, don't comment, don't, you know what I mean? Like let people wear what they want.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now, it's not body shaming if I'm telling Bailey, like, you can't wear a crop top to school.
Right.
But,
correct.
But on the other hand, there are things where I'm just like, we don't really like emphasize things that we used to.
Totally.
You know?
Yes, it's changed. It's changed. Like, yeah, to your point, sometimes I do have to coach mom a little bit and be like, Mom, no se dice eso.
Yes.
Y cuando no.
Yeah.
But ya no más, just don't, you know, because they're just very used to it. That's their culture, you know? Yeah. And it's changed and it's funny and endearing in a sense because we grew up that way.
Yeah.
But it's a different era and they're just trying to like figure it out because they're still very used to it.
Yeah, no, I think, and I also want to say, like, when you're thinking about these bits and stuff that you're posting and you're mindful is the word of the day, right? Mindful about like mindful. What the reaction is. You're demure.
Very demure.
I guess that's got to be kind of scary, not knowing, you know, what the response is going to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. That one was one that I was worried about posting. There was another one that I asked and I was like, I'm kind of scared. Should I do it? Should I not? I don't remember what episode it was, but that one in particular is the most recent one that I was like, do you think like, people aren't I don't want the backlash, you know? And so luckily,
good.
People know my heart.
I know. Okay. So, and I mentioned this earlier, you also have drunk tios. Now, are they based off of someone real? Are they my tios? Cause I have them too. And are we like cousins or what?
We're cousins. We're definitely cousins. Somos comadres. Yeah. Same thing. So Doña Chona is my mom and mother-in-law, and Tío Chon is a mixture of my father-in-law who's in heaven, and my husband's Uncle Sam. So the speech pattern of Tío Chon, where I take from my dad, is where Tío Chon speaks kind of like he'll say things like, I don't like this place. It's a stupid place, and I'll never come over here again. That place. That's how my dad talks. It's not an educated place. My dad talks like that.
Yeah.
Then where he starts getting very fired up and he starts mumbling his words, that's my father-in-law and my uncle and Billy, my husband's Uncle Sam. He's like, no, I'm not going to do this fucking stupid shit. Fuck that shit. I don't fucking like that shit. No, they don't come over here to my house and that's it. They better not talk to me like that because I don't like that shit. That's how they used to get when they were drunk.
Yeah.
And they would talk like that. And so anytime we would hang out, I'm a very observant person when I talk to people.
Yeah.
And so whenever Tío Chon was born, that's what came out of my mouth because that's what I felt like when I turned into that character.
Yeah.
I felt like Uncle Sam and my suegro and my dad.
And it's funny because these are things also I guess your uncle and your dad, these are people that you've been observing since you were little. So it's like you've been taking this in your whole life.
My whole life, man. My whole life. Like my father-in-law was the best time. He just one of the most accepting men. He was amazing. He was amazing. We miss him dearly. And we used to party with him. Yeah. We used to party with my father-in-law and he would get drunk and then the next morning, what happened, Duty? What happened last night, Duty? And he's like, shoot it. That's how he talked. He would talk like that. Shoot it. Man, yo. He would call me Jojo. He would call me yo. I got blasted last night. I got all messed up. And so it just always had a good time. So it was very easy to take on their mannerisms, you know? And so dad is totally conservative and different, but some of the accent comes from dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And I'm glad that your dad finally got to see you like perform
In action, he
something.
did. And
Mhm.
he's seen the Doña Chona bits and he laughs.
Yeah.
And he's definitely laughed with some guilt that God's watching him at the Tio Chon bits.
Oh yeah.
He really has. He's like, because he's like, ay, Chonita, that's a good stuff. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny, Chonita. Yeah, it's funny.
Like, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
he's
love
like,
it,
it's good.
Chonita.
Yeah, he calls me Chonita. At all my Christmas cards, on all my stuff, me, Chonita.
Oh,
Everything. He's very sweet.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so let's talk a little bit then about making the segue from social to a live audience. I know you've got some shows coming up.
Yeah.
How has that been now? Is it similar, different? Do you like it more?
Love it more.
Yeah.
Live audience is where it's at for me, man.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever caught a live of mine, I'm just so full of energy, so full of life. It's just that interaction with people that just really, really brings something special to the stage for me. And I've built a lot of my material based on the things that come out of my mouth, just being in that environment,
Yeah.
which sometimes aren't even part of the set. It's just things that come out because it just felt organic to say. And that's how I've been able to build my material over time. But live stage performing is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes. Being able to, it's like an instant gratification, man. It's like, okay, I wrote this material. Let's see if it works. And then you getting to see it firsthand. That's what's amazing. But I think what makes it special is that there's a lot of people that suffer from mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they show up to comedy shows looking for just that bit of joy. And there's no greater feeling than looking back at an audience with 300 people and everybody smiling. That is such a moving and powerful feeling. And that's why I love to perform live.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's beautiful because you just don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you, God, for the talent that I was able to bring joy for an hour.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Stop it. Oh my God. Okay.
I'm a people pleaser.
I'd say a people person and people gravitate towards you. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a better way of saying it.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm excited I want to go see whenever you come here. So
yes, I love it.
Your date's coming up. But okay, so how are you feeling about this next tour that you're going on? It's about to start up in a couple of weeks, right?
Yep. In a couple of weeks, I'll be going on a quick little tour here. I'm really excited to be back on stage again. I take the summers off. And I don't mean this in a conceited way at all, but I do it because I feel that God's plan for me is bigger, and I'm taking my time with my children while I can.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if it is God's plan, I'll eventually be on tour and we'll have no control, that I won't be able to spend as much time with them. So I don't book anything in the summers because I just want to be in the moment with them. So it's been a few months since I've performed.
Yeah.
Well, besides convocation. So I'm really excited to get back on the road and back on stage and seeing everybody again. And it's going to be fun.
And don't call yourself conceited. That's not conceited.
Thank you.
You're manifesting. Like, big things are going to come.
Amen.
And God will, not to get all like, into the faith and everything, but God will reward you for being mindful about your kids and your family and demure. God,
I love that.
God loves that you're being demure.
Yeah. And I love that for me too, God.
No, that's exciting though. I'm excited for you. I guess what can somebody, if they're going to go see you for the first time live,
what can they expect?
What can they expect that's going to be different from like what they're seeing on social? What's the little extra they're getting?
Yeah, totally. It's more personal life experiences is what you're learning about me on stage in a very dramatic, over-exaggerated comedic way.
Mm-hmm.
I go into my marriage. I talk about my marriage. I talk about my becoming 40. I have a whole señora bit that I do. And I talk about my weight loss and what it's done to my body. And I get very graphic about it. So that's really what people can expect from me. It's very in your face. There's no, I don't hold back when it comes to how descriptive I can get with certain things. And overall, it's just a really, really, really fun time. I think for me, the most, I get a lot of joy performing live, but one of the things that makes me feel good and feels like I've done my job is a lot of husbands are there with their wives because they want to go so bad.
Yeah.
So I get I feel like I made an A+ because the husbands at the meet and greets will be like, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not want to come.
Yeah.
Did not want to come. I didn't really give a shit about this, but you made a new fan. You are hilarious. And I love that through my comedy that's just mostly catering to women, that the men are finding it relatable as well.
Yeah.
So that's what you can expect.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
And you keep saying too, like you play on your marriage and stuff. How has your husband handled that?
He's freaking he is a gem, dude, because
Yeah.
and a lot of men go up to him after the shows and they say, I don't know how you do it, dude.
Yeah.
I am so full of pride. I'd be so fucking embarrassed
Yeah.
with the shit that she's saying. Like, holy crap. And my husband's like, and it bothers me not one bit.
Oh, I love that.
He sells my merch for me at the show. So he's out there
Yeah.
supporting, and people recognize him from the videos because siempre le ando sagando la garra. You know, I'm always either pranking him or doing something, and they tell him, dude, how do you fucking do it? I could never be the butt of the joke. He goes, I don't give a shit, man. That's what she does. I've known her since I was 17, and she's always been like that. So it's
Yeah.
nothing different.
Stop. We love
Yeah.
a supportive husband here.
Yes. Hey, it's a new era, man. We're trying to change the mindset of that, you know, and that is we love a good supportive husband, and
Yeah.
I'm very blessed in that with mine.
I love
Yeah.
that. And then going back to, like, I know family is very important to you. So having your kids see that he's so supportive of you
Totally.
in all aspects,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
good. Yeah.
and I'm raising two daughters, so that's especially important for them to
Yeah.
see, you know?
Yes.
I'm happy for that.
Stop it. I love this for you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Money.
Okay, so let's see. We have just a few minutes before I'm going to wrap up, and I like to do a couple of hot take questions, right?
I love that.
So I'm going to take, I'll do 3 and you do 3 here.
This is in my Pinterest board, not even mine. Pa poner dulces. You said I pick how many?
3. Let's
3.
do 3
Okay.
and 3. I don't know what they are, so hopefully these
Okay.
are
How cute. Hot takes, like hot tamales.
hot takes.
She's
If
adorable.
only they would just sponsor me, Hot Takes. Like,
Hello, hot takes. Tag them below.
Okay. I'll go first, all right?
Okay.
Okay, so cereal. Cereal is a type of soup. Is it or is it not?
Oh, totally. You need a spoon. You tiene juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Cereal soup.
Yeah. Cereal is in the soup family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I'd
I
say
never
so.
thought of it, but yes,
Right?
absolutely.
It's breakfast. Breakfast soup.
Breakfast soup, and sometimes I even use the soup bowls to get a bigger bite.
Exactly.
I like that.
Okay,
My turn, right?
Yes.
Catfishing someone should be punishable by law. Ooh.
I guess it depends how far you take it, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there's like catfishing where somebody's trying to catch their cheating ex or something.
Okay, and that's acceptable.
And that's acceptable. But if you're catfishing somebody because you're crazy, like, and you're
Then go to jail. Get out of here. Then go to jail.
Pay the fine, go to jail.
Go to jail for life.
Okay, expiration dates on food are more of a suggestion than a rule.
Okay, for me, it's a rule, man.
It's a rule.
I'd much rather to even think that people will go 2 days after the expiration date of milk. Que tienes?
Yes. No.
Guacala. I'm
Oh.
good. It's a rule.
It's a rule. But if you're in my house and my mom's, because my mom watches my little ones, so she's like, it's not bad. Smell it. And I'm like, I won't do it, Mom.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm like, and you know why? Because if I do it and this is the one chance they get sick, who are they going to blame? Me.
Exactly. Mom, that's not giving very mindful.
That is not demure.
It's not demure, not cutesy.
Okay.
Oh, okay. This is a good one. I'd rather be really short than extremely tall. Ooh, think about that one.
I kind of disagree with that one.
Okay.
I think because right now I'm not like really short, but I'm pretty short.
Well,
And
how tall are you?
5'2".
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I must be shrinking. Maybe I didn't pay attention. We'll look at it a little bit.
I'm probably 5'1". I say 5'2".
Well, you got a little
Yeah.
taconcito
Yeah.
today.
So, but I think if you're taller, you can see more things, right?
Yeah.
If you're in a crowd and people are sick, you're above the sickness.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you stand out. Like,
why not?
why not? You can be a basketball player.
You could be a hell of a volleyball player too.
Exactly.
Shoot, those girls in Bernie.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, cabrón. They were tall girls.
Okay, would you want to be taller or shorter then?
Me, I'm 5'8", so I think for Mexican, that's pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every time my mom would introduce me to people, she would say, my daughter's a basketball player. And I was like, why? Just because, okay, Mom, whatever. So anyway, Tall's cool, man.
Yeah.
I probably would even be happy with 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I don't mind my size 10 shoe.
No, I love it. I wish I were taller.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And it's funny because I'm the tall one in my family.
You see, at 5'2", that's so cute. And not only that, but taller people don't look as fat.
Right. Yeah.
Because you wouldn't think I'm 206 pounds.
No.
People would be like, oh, wow, I didn't. Tall helps.
Tall helps.
Tall helps stretch out the panza.
Okay, wait, whose turn is it? Mine?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'd rather go on a vacation to the mountains than the beach. No.
You?
Beach.
Beach?
Yeah. You're not a beach girl?
No. Okay, why for you?
Hot. I just like the water. It's hot. You
Uh-huh.
can have some snacks, a drink.
Okay.
And the mountains, like, all I know about the mountains is you get sick from the elevation.
Oh, see, she brought up elevation. I didn't even think about that. So we're getting deep. I don't like sand.
Yeah.
I don't care for the sand. I don't care for what's in the water because, we live in Texas, so we don't have pretty crystal clear waters.
Yes.
We have caca water.
Yeah.
And you don't know if there's a jellyfish right there waiting to sting the crap out of you.
Oh, there is.
And they are. There are. A friend of mine had gone to the beach. She's like, my daughter got stung like 6 times over the weekend. I was like, oh, so yeah. Anyway, but yeah, for me, I would do mountains. I don't mind a nice little crisp morning with a little windbreaker.
I bet that would be nice, though.
It'd be nice and peaceful. You could still drink and have a snack.
That's very true.
She made it seem you can only have it at the beach.
At the beach. I think it's just because we were fortunate enough to take a good vacation. So we didn't go to this beach.
Where did you go?
We went to Maui. And so, like, I know not all beaches are not like that, but that beach, any day. So beautiful.
Yes. If when we said beach, I instantly thought
Texas
Corpitos.
Yeah. No, then I'm going to the mountains. Take me to the mountains.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Well, Maui, we'll do a beach versus the mountain. Yeah. I love that. All right. I have pew paper. I literally put, paper, newspapers, and magazines will be obsolete within the next 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the news now.
This is the news.
This is the new news.
And I'll say digital, like anything digital on your phone, easily accessible, different formats. I think that's where we're headed. So
yeah, that's giving very mindful, very cutesy, very demure.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Know your audience.
And make sure you're following over here.
Likewise. Okay, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time because she's a busy girl, you guys.
It's so fun.
But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you wanted to add about your upcoming tour or anything else?
Yeah, I do. I want to say that usually my tours are obviously a lot of for fun and stuff like that, but this time it's really for a purpose. So I decided to take a plunge and I'm making a quinceañera for my daughter in March of 2025. I have less than 7 months to plan this. So you guys are supporting in that way. So be a padrino and buy a comedy show ticket.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that, not to drag this on any longer, but quinceas don't seem to be as big of a thing as they were when we were growing up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think because of cost.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had said no to making her one 2 years ago when we were looking for venues and stuff. Once I found the price, I was like, that's ridiculous. We are not spending that much money for one day. Luckily, I was able to snag a venue that was within a price range that I didn't feel like my eyes would twitch.
Yeah.
So even that much more hustling to make it work.
Well, let's get this quince on the road, guys.
Yes.
Make sure that you're buying tickets. Where can people find you on social?
You can find me on all socials at Chona E 210. That will bring you to TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I do have a YouTube as well. I'm not as active there, but you could still follow me there at Chona E. And all my ticket links are on the links in my bio, you guys. You can find them everywhere. And anytime I book a show and it is up for sale, and you want to be in the know and you want to be the first one to know, you can find it on my link tree.
Beautiful. So make sure you go and buy the tickets. Let's support our girl. And Chona, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I love this.
It was fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no.
This is just beautiful, Manita.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. I love the environment that you set up. It's freaking cute.
Thank you so much.
Super cute.
This is about you, so thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, and make sure that you are following, liking, rating, subscribing, do all the things. And also make sure that you go and follow her pages, buy those tickets, like I said, and we will see you again on the next podcast. Thank you so much for listening. It's Lady on the Street podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.